Welcome to Subramani. Today is Navami, that is the ninth day of Navratri, and today is the day when mostly in South India we perform the Saraswati Puja. This is a favorite for many kids, for me also when I was a kid, because this was a day when legitimately you did not have to study. Your parents said all the books should be kept for the puja and you have to read the next day, which means the next day you have to read more, but the pleasure of saying today I don't have to read, right? So I'm going to talk to you about Saraswati Puja, connection of education with Kanchipuram, and the fact that Shankaracharya Peryava calls Saraswati the goddess of wisdom, right? So this is the book which I'm talking about, which is the Divine Speaks. On page 598, he talks about Saraswati, the connection of Saraswati with learning, with wisdom, and with Kanchipuram. I may cut out the Kanchipuram parts because that may not be very relevant. So here it goes. This is according to the Hindu calendar. There are 6 ritus, right? So Vasanta ritu, which is spring, then Grishma ritu, Varsha ritu, which is monsoon, Sharad ritu, which is autumn, and the Hemanta ritu, which is pre-winter, and then there is Shishrisha, which is the winter, right? So Saraswati Puja, which is the last day of Navratri, which is Navami, falls during Sharad ritu, and which is the autumn season. Therefore Saraswati is also known as Sharda. So when you see temples which are Sharda temples, these are Sharda temples means Saraswati temples. There is no difference between the two, right? All of them are anyway representatives of Devi. So during this Navratri you must have said the prayers like Aigiri Nandini. So all this is part of your Devi pujas, right? So if anybody tells you there was not enough importance given to women, it's wrong, because all the important functions like wealth and education and wisdom was with the women, like Sadhguru says, right? And something very, I didn't know this, that there was a big group of educated people who were learning the Vedas in Kashmir, and therefore they were called Pandits. So whenever we refer to Kashmiri, we refer to them as Kashmiri Pandits. I didn't know that there were so many educated people learning the Vedas in Kashmir. So that's an important learning for me, right? So the reason for large number of Pandits residing in Kashmir is mainly because of their strong affinity to the worship of Saraswati in that region, right? So Kashmir and Saraswati, this is the connection. And there is a hall known as the Sharda Peetham in Kashmir. Point to note for me, there's one more place for me to visit, which is a platform of high honor for all scholars. In Tamil Nadu, Kanchipuram region was once known as the Kashmir Mandalam. So again, you could see the connection between North India and South India, and there are similar locations in both North and South. Of course, in the North you have Mathura, where Lord Krishna was born. In South you have Madurai, where Lord Meenakshi was born. And in the north there is Patliputra. We have in south we have Patliputra, which is the Tirupadiri Pulliyur. I have not been to that place, I have not heard of that place. And then there is Kashi in north, and there is Tenkasi, which is somewhere near Tirunelveli. Tenkasi I have been, right? So Kanchipuram came to be known as the Kashmir of South. That I knew. Dakshini, it used to be called Dakshin Kashmir, and that's Kanchipuram. Not that the weather was anywhere similar, right? And it has had the grace of Saraswati there. So this is acknowledged by Mukha Kavi, and in the Kamakshi temple there is a sign of Saraswati in a sublime beauty with 8 hands, right? So our Acharya has excelled in all arts and obtained the title of Sarvanga, which means the master of all arts. He is named the Mutt there as Sharda Mutt. All these reveal the connection between Kanchipuram and Saraswati. I will not dwell much on the Kanchipuram part of the Saraswati, but yeah, there is the sloka in the Mukha Pancha Shakti which identifies Kamakshi with Saraswati. It reads, Kamakshi is wearing an immaculate white sari. The whole of Kashmir is covered by white snow, which symbolizes the abode of Saraswati, and the speciality of autumn is similar to this. And it says the Sharad Chandra, which is the autumn moon, as poetically described by the poets, covers the entire world with its cooling whiteness in nights. White clouds float across the sky during the autumn season, and corresponding to the autumn season, the wisdom and knowledge bestowed by Saraswati is that of the autumn moon and autumn clouds that are dispassionate and impeccable. General education which only bring and when I think of Saraswati Puja and why it falls in autumn and the impact this season has over the minds of people, I also look at it. Here I am quoting Shankaracharya. So I also look at it from a different perspective. External attributes always affect internal behavior. For example, dawn of a morning inspires and makes us happy. A clouded sky with drizzle brings a kind of a gloom, right? Before dawn and at the time of dusk, the atmosphere is serene. We also feel peace at heart, and that is why we get motivated to sit and meditate in the mornings and evenings, right? Therefore, when the external world is drawing itself within, we should also try to draw out ourselves outside and draw ourselves towards the inward mind of ours and concentrate on that, right? This is the most appropriate time to bring our minds to a halt and merge it into one with the Sharad Ritu, and this is also most compatible for tuning our mental outlook and attitude, right? The peculiarity of this season is that such pleasant weather is prevalent across India. Otherwise, there is drastic variation in temperature at different places. During summers are perhaps more severe in north than in south. Autumn is the only season where the entire country has a temperature ranging between 75 and 95 degrees Fahrenheit, and weather will be pleasant, right? Moderately warm or cold. Even the weather resembles the personality and attributes of Goddess Saraswati, and people find their inner balance better during this weather than during the other seasons. Japamala and palm leaf, right? The Japamala which we use and the palm leaf display the attributes of awareness of knowledge. So both Saraswati and in south we call what we call the Dakshina Murti, who are both the epitome of wisdom and conscious awareness, are holding these two in their hands.